With the 2022 school year about to start, I wanted to give you a checklist today of the apps, the resources, the equipment that you must have in order to make 2022 your best school year yet. Hey, I'm Lisa. I've been an English tutor for over 10 years now. I own Lisa Study Guides, which is a private tutoring and study guide company used by teachers and students across schools in Australia and in the world. And every single week I give you English and study related advice to help you excel in school. So if you like the sound of that, then make sure you subscribe just down below. So your checklist of must-have. First thing is textbooks. You can either have physical copies or ebook versions of them, whichever one you prefer. But if you do get them before the school year begins, I would highly recommend you to have a skim through them, or even just go through the first few chapters and start making notes for yourself. That way you can help yourself get ahead in terms of the school year, so that when school actually begins, all your assessments are coming, you're studying all these different subjects and you're trying to balance that with your social life and your work and maybe hobbies, you've actually got a bit of time on your side where you've been able to progress a little bit ahead in terms of your schoolwork. Next are your English texts. So for majority of us, English is compulsory. And so what I would highly recommend you do, and I've talked about this several times on this channel, so I'll link up above a video for you where I go into this in more detail, but I would recommend that you go through your English texts, read them and annotate them before the school year begins. This is a must so that you don't fall behind in English, because it's actually quite an intense subject and not every teacher will go through the entire text with you in class. So actually, in most cases, teachers expect you to have already read the text before you actually begin to study it in class. Next are highlighters. This may seem obvious, but I wanted to emphasize how highlighters are great for note-taking, annotating, particularly when it comes to information-dense subjects such as biology or English, for example. You can use different colors to color code your text as well to help you extract information a lot quicker when you're reviewing through your notes. So for example, if in English text you highlight the theme of love in pink, but you highlight the theme of family in blue, whenever you're studying about that particular theme, you can just flick through your book and very quickly find that highlighted color and know that it's going to be based on that theme you're researching for. Next are pens. Black and blue pens are generally what you end up using for your exam papers. So try to avoid some of those erasable ones. I personally really love Muji pens. I think they glide on the paper really easily, so it helps you write faster. I think it's really nice on the hand feel, and it's one of those pens that doesn't seem to smudge as well when you're writing. Next is to get yourself a good drink bottle. Staying hydrated throughout your day is extremely important so that you can stay focused on your school work. When you get a water bottle that you actually really enjoy drinking out of, maybe it may be the shape of it, the color of it, the hand feel of it, the weight of it, or maybe that's just the drinking mechanism of it, then you'll find that you actually end up drinking more, which helps you in terms of your mind, your body, and your soul. I personally really love the Camelback. I don't like the pop top ones because I have this weird paranoia that if I keep using pop tops over time, my teeth will sort of move forward and I won't have straight teeth. I like this one because you don't necessarily have to screw it on, you can just put it on. So you're not wasting time actually like screwing things on and unscrewing them. You can just have it open and close. Make sure you have a calculator for your math subjects, of course. Also have notebooks and folders for each subject as well. This will help you remain organized throughout the school year, and you'll be able to find where everything is a lot sooner instead of just having a massive pile of notes. Also, don't forget, if you need to get a new uniform for this year, maybe you've grown, maybe whatever other reason, then make sure you go get that as well. Now let's talk about ideal equipment and resources. So a laptop that can run all the software you need can be essential. Some students don't want to buy physical copies of their textbooks and would rather have an ebook version. And even some schools are moving away from physical textbooks and using e-learning subscriptions such as EdRollo. So a laptop may be a good investment in this case, because that way you can carry everything you need all in just the one thing. You're not going to have a broken back by carrying all these textbooks to and from school, which is what I did, and my god, it was just so heavy. A lot of my students tend to really love using an iPad or maybe like a MacBook Air, and if this is too expensive for you, then you can always go for secondhand options as well. There are plenty out there. I personally really love using Facebook Marketplace to try to look for secondhand deals. Otherwise, you can even try eBay Or you can even try, let's say if you get an Apple product, and I can only really say with Apple products because I use Apple products, is you can go on the refurbished section of their website and see if you have any refurbished tech deals to help you save money. Let's talk about having a tablet device as opposed to a laptop. So a tablet device like an iPad is super handy when you don't want to be taking notes using paper. It's also a more eco-friendly way as well if you wanted to look at it from that way. And very much like my prior point about storing textbooks on laptops, you can also do the same thing in an iPad as well. The next thing I recommend is to get your hands on study guides now rather than getting them last minute throughout the school year. This way you won't have to rush later on in the year to get them, since you'll be busy revising for your exams and assessments anyway. And sometimes study guides also run out of stock too. So you want to make sure that it's not just like a last minute decision that you're making where you might not actually be able to get your hands on those study guides. If you get your hands on study guides sooner rather than later, well then it actually even gives you time to look into, say, secondhand deals if you'd rather a cheaper option. Not only this, but having your study guides ahead of time is also another great way to help you get ahead. So instead of just reading your English text, you can also read your study guides as well to help you understand your English text. And that way, when you start the school year, you've got this breadth of knowledge in your brain ready to go. Now let's talk about amazing apps I love that will help you stay on track and get stuff done like nobody else. The first app is the Forest app to help you stay focused. It's great because basically it grows trees as you work. If you end up touching your phone, then your tree dies. So it's a really great way to help stop you from actually using your phone and getting distracted while you're studying. It's a great self-control system, but it's also very cute because you can get rewarded for your time not touching your phone and can start planting even cooler trees. Speaking of self-control, the next app is called Self-Control. It's great for discipline because it keeps you on track and makes sure you're not doing what you're not supposed to do and actually using your time effectively to study. Next is MindMeister, which is great for mind maps, especially for content-heavy subjects like biology or psychology. I also love Miro, which is similar to Concept Board, but it's a great way for brainstorming with groups of people, including your friends who you may be studying with. Now, if we look at Concept Board, it's similar to Miro, which makes sense, but it's also a brainstorming app and great to use with your study groups. Next is Evernote, which is structured in a library database format. So you have folders, and within those folders you have notes, just as you would say in a physical setting. Some people really love this structure for Evernote. Otherwise, if you don't dig Evernote as much, you can try Notion. So I personally use Notion quite a bit, and what I really love about Notion is its flexibility. So you can set up your own databases. There are plenty of really nice templates out there that you can download for free, or you can even purchase templates too if you'd rather something a bit more aesthetic. The great thing about Notion is that students get it for free, so I'd highly recommend this one. Next is Quizlet. If you're self-studying and want to test your own knowledge, Quizlet is a fantastic way to do so. It's particularly excellent for content-heavy subjects and units that require you to remember lots of definitions, like if you're studying legal studies. Now, on that note, the other thing you may want to consider leading into the school year is whether or not you'd like to get extra help outside of school. We know that when it comes to the classroom situation, you're not able to get that one-on-one support from teachers as often as many of us would like. And so what a lot of people turn to is tutoring, whether that be one-on-one tutoring, whether or not be a small group with your friends, or even classes. So I'm really excited to announce that at LSG, we've always done private tutoring, so one-on-one tutoring, maybe a group of 2 to a group of 4 friends with one tutor. But we know that for many of you, you actually like to learn in more of a class setting, or perhaps when it comes to private tutoring, it's a little bit out of your budget. So we've just launched our class offering at LSG, and I'm so excited to bring this to you because I know that for many of you, it will be a lot more affordable, but especially I think we've worked really hard on building our LSG strategies and techniques and ways of teaching our students so that we have a proven record of success. So to give you an example, every single year, our tutors have helped at least one student get a perfect study score in English. Now, I know that your goal may not be to try to get that perfect top mark, but we all have goals and dreams at the end of the day. We all want to be winners in a sense and be able to accomplish those goals. So I want to be able to help support support you in getting to those goals, whatever they may be. So if you want to learn more about what classes we have available, when those classes run, what you'll be learning in them, then make sure you go into the description box below and click on the link so that you can find out more. I'm really excited to finally bring classes to you guys. It's something that's been requested so many times over the years, but we really wanted to sit down and make sure that we did it properly for you guys. And so that's what we spent the entire summer doing, preparing for this class launch and making sure that we're able to support you throughout this year and for you to look back and never regret the fact that you've decided to work with LSG in terms of your studies. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you next week. We're going to be talking about how do you actually study English texts that you hate. And yeah, sometimes we don't like our texts, but what are you gonna do about it when you have to study at school? I'll help you out on that next week. See you guys then. Bye.